On Friday, November 22nd, Lee Harvey Oswald rises quietly and boils water for a quick cup of instant coffee. Half an hour later, without awakening anyone, he leaves the silent Payne household. Carrying a long paper-wrapped parcel, he walks the half block to Wesley Frazier's house for his ride to the book depository. Frazier's sister, Mrs. William Randall, watches him approach this morning.
About 7:10 a.m. in the morning, I was preparing lunches. I looked out the window and saw a man, whom I learned later was Mr. Oswald, crossing the street with a package approximately 2.5 feet long. He proceeded across my carport, and I opened the door to see where he was going and saw him put the package into my brother's car.
Minutes later, he is joined by Frazier.
I went out the back door. Lee was standing just outside the door. We walked to the car. As we were getting in the car, I saw the package, and I said, "What's the package, Lee?" And Lee said, "Curtain rods." And the only comment that was made on the way to work was about the babies and the weather. And I always managed to get some comment out of him about children, because I said he seemed like he's very fond of them. And I asked him, did he have fun playing with the babies? And he says, "Oh yeah," and kind of chuckled to himself.
"15 minutes after leaving the suburb of Irving, Wesley Frazier's 1953 Chevrolet sedan joins the flow of morning traffic speeding along Stennon's Freeway toward the gray towers of downtown Dallas.
About the only other comment was made was about the weather, and it was an hazy day, and we both said if it didn't clear up, it's sure going to be a bad day.
It is nearing 8 o'clock when the drab bulk of the book depository looms up beyond the triple underpass. Here, the presidential motorcade is due to pass in 4.5 hours. As usual, Wesley Frazier drives his car to a distant employee parking lot beside a railroad yard, a 4-block walk from the book depository's back entrance. But this morning, his companion is in a hurry.
I said, he got out of the car, see, and picked up the package while I was charging my battery, see. The battery ain't charging pretty bad. And then when I got out of the car and fixed the shut door, he started walking a little bit faster, and he finally got about 50 feet ahead of me.
Unlovely amid Dallas's splendid downtown structures, the depository is a textbook distribution center. Oswald's job, gathering books for shipment to Texas schools, gives him access to the building's 7 floors. It is Lee Oswald's lunch hour. In less than 25 minutes, the president is scheduled to pass the depository. But as other employees go downstairs to see the president, Oswald stays on the 6th floor. He asks a fellow worker to arrange to send the elevator back up. Now, in the stillness of the deserted floor, a rifle is brought out, loaded, and carried to a corner window. There, carefully arranged book cartons will shield the assassin from view. But the assassin's view is excellent. Directly below, the president's car must turn, then angle toward the underpass. Now, by the opened window, Unsuspected on the depository's hushed 6th floor, the assassin listens for the sound of the motorcade. Turning from Maine to Houston, the president's car must approach the depository dead on, then turn again, just as another convertible might. And for 30 yards, the president himself will be easy to track on the 4-power scope.
Large police escort is now ahead of the presidential motorcade, just having now turned right-hand onto Main off of Harwood. And the crowd is surging forward to close in somewhat on the leading cars. There's a big cheer going up as the president gets further down. And now the ticker tape is beginning to flow from the windows all over the large buildings here and engulf the entire motorcade. Here comes the first car with Police Chief Jess Curry, and here is the President of the United States. And the crowd is absolutely going wild. This is a friendly crowd in downtown Dallas as the President and the First Lady pass by.
Now the assassin braces his weapon. In the cleared streets, only the target is missing.
By the way, any fear that demonstrations may have marred the presidential motorcade here in the downtown area, at this point, however, seems useless. Crowds here seem to radiate a love for the president. The Dallas Police Department is working with a fully augmented force to dispel any fear that unfortunate incidents similar to those that accompanied UN Ambassador Adlai Stevenson's visit do not occur on this trip.
Rounding the end of Main Street, the president's car swings onto Houston toward the open window of the book depository. Beneath it, in a moment, the motorcade will turn toward the underpass. Instructions, the lead cars race for Parkland Hospital, closely followed by the car in which a Secret Service agent shields the vice president with his body. At the depository, the motorcade lies shattered by the sudden, unseen blow. As it falters on amid dazed and terrible questions, the nearest available police enter the building. Stopped at gunpoint in the lunchroom, Lee Oswald is immediately cleared as an employee, then quickly escapes the building unnoticed. Police surround the book depository. One witness, Howard L. Brennan, reports having seen a man fire at the president's car from an upper window. Unlike other crowded vantage points, this offered surest privacy to an assassin. Amid the silent stacks of book cartons, the search begins for a clue, a weapon, anything. Outside, the police surge through the surrounding area in search of a sniper, rounding up other witnesses and suspects for questioning. Mainly 7 blocks from the shooting, Lee Oswald boards the number 30 Marcellus Street bus to his rooming house, heading toward the depository he has just left. When the bus fails to move in the paralyzed traffic, he gets off, then walks 2 blocks to the Greyhound bus terminal, where he hires the cab of William Whaley.
I picked up a fare at the Greyhound bus taxi cab stand. This young man told me that he wanted to go to the 500 block of North Beckley. And when he got in, police sirens was running, crisscrossing each other, and policemen on tricycles was running down. And so I thought it was a fire or a holdup or something. I asked him, I said, I wonder what the hell all this uproar is about. And he didn't answer me. So I figured he's one of these people, which we have lots of, that don't like to talk. They got other things on their mind. And so I just carried him on to where he wanted to go. So I carried him on across the viaduct, turned left to 500 block of North Beckley. And when I got over on North Beckley, coming on to the intersection of Neely, North Beckley, he said, "This will do fine." I pulled over to the curb. The fare was 95 cents. He handed me a $1 bill and got out. Walked in front of my cab across the street, and that's the last I saw of him.
Having gotten out 5 blocks beyond his real destination, Lee Oswald backtracks the distance to the small North Beckley Street room he keeps as O.H. Lee. His rush into the house startles housekeeper Earlene Roberts, who will later recall that he leaves almost instantly in a different, lighter jacket. At 1:22, as police throughout the city hunt for the suspected assassin described by Brennan, the searchers on the building's 6th floor find a rifle, a $20 6.5 Mannlicher Carcano with a 4-power telescopic sight. It has been concealed near a stairway landing, directly opposite from the assassin's window. Also found are palm prints on the boxes stacked near the window and 3 spent shells, which quickly are fitted to the bolt-action rifle's firing chamber. Suddenly, to Dallas Police Headquarters comes word that an officer, J.D. Tippett, has been shot and killed in the Oak Cliff section on East 10th Street. Instantly, an alarm is broadcast for a police killer. In the quiet street, a few blocks from Oswald's rooming house, 3 witnesses tell police how Officer Tippett pulled over to the curb, then got from his patrol car to talk to his assailant, and was shot 4 times. 8 others have seen a man run through the area with a pistol. Later, they will identify Oswald as that man. Nearby, a light jacket is found. In full flight on Jefferson Boulevard, Lee Oswald takes refuge in a shoe store entrance, where he is noticed by salesman John Brewer.
I stand behind the counter listening to the radio at Friday and heard on the radio that Officer Tippett had been shot. I heard sirens coming down Jefferson Street, and this man walked into the lobby of a store there, matching the description that they had given out on the radio. The police cars made a U-turn and went back down Jefferson, and this man walked out up towards the Texas Theater.
Alerted by the radio description, John Brewer follows Oswald toward the nearby Texas Theater, where the second feature, a Korean war film, is on screen. Unnoticed, Lee Oswald slips past a distracted cashier and enters the dark, near-empty theater. Unknown to Lee Oswald as he watches the film, John Brewer enlists the aid of the theater's manager, and together they block the theater's 2 exits. At the same time, the cashier hurriedly calls the police to report Officer Tippett's suspected killer. Pointed out by Brewer, Oswald is surprised by police in the Texas Theater. There is a brief struggle as his pistol misfires. Then the suspected police killer is dragged from the theater, thrust into a car, and driven off to police headquarters. In Dallas Police Headquarters, Lee Oswald is booked for the slaying of Officer Tippett. Tight-lipped, bruised from his battle with his captors, he is led through a gauntlet of newsmen, and the world gets its first look at Lee Harvey Oswald, suspected police killer. But now, from articles in his pockets, police make the startling discovery that this is the missing book depository employee, and immediately send investigators to question his wife. As examination proves his pistol fired the shots killing Tippett, evidence swiftly mounts that he has committed this day not 1 murder, but 2.
Here comes Oswald down the hall again.
You find that rifle? The facts that people have been given, but I emphatically deny these charges.